Hello guys, in this video we're going to talk about how to stand out with your CV of junior software developer when you don't have working experience. I will introduce you one of the ways how you can do this. I'm currently sharing my personal advice to you since I'm conducting technical interviews for more than 10 years and I'm telling you what really works. First of all, forget about finding a job immediately after you graduated from the university and you've gotten your master's degree in computer science. You will require some time to create this initial, let's say, experience. Step number 1. Find from 3 to 5 examples of the applications which are relevant to your positions. There are huge amount of them in the internet which describe step by step how to make something. For example, I came initially from the front-end applications and my examples for you will be: first one, application which uses authentication. No matter which authentication provider you will use, you don't have to implement it yourself. There are a lot of free ones, and yeah, you can implement something basic, for example, how to make a to-do list, but people will get access to their lists by providing their credentials. Another good example for your portfolio will be cloning a website. It shouldn't be something very complex, but you should implement it exactly the same. It actually shows your ability to implement something like it's created somewhere else. You will very often get such assignments if you will work as front-end developer, for example, like implement the same as here, or here is the Figma template, make the same as here. The third application for your portfolio will be something which implements CRUD operations. So this means like operations like create, read, update and delete. You can implement it like using some basic database which you don't have to implement yourself. You can use the ready services for this, but it will actually show that you know how to work with databases and how to use those basic operations. Another thing is the application which is connected to some public IP. So you, for example, press a button, something happens, something comes back, and you react accordingly with your application. It's also very cool if you implement something which is connected to WebSockets IP, meaning that the events can not only come from the user side, but can also come from server, and your application should also be able to react on it. And the fifth app will be the application which will have the perfect score in Google Lighthouse. First of all, it will demonstrate that you know about what Google Lighthouse is. Another thing, it will demonstrate that you know what you should implement in your application to get those high numbers. You know, you will get a lot of assignments like, please increase this number in Google Lighthouse on this particular page to this particular value. Yeah, this is a good demonstration that you know how to do it. Now we are going to second step. You should deploy this application somewhere, so they should be accessible via some address. The easiest way, as for me, is to buy a domain on AWS and implement all those applications on different subdomains. And it is also very desirable if you will deploy those applications using some CI/CD pipeline. There are huge amounts of guides which describe you step by step how to do it absolutely for free. The third step is to put this code in the repository, and this repository should be available for reading. It's very important that you implement tests there. Plus, if you implement their very good readme.md file which describes how to work with your application, it will be also a very big plus for you. It means that you know how the projects are organized. And the fourth step, put those projects into the top of your CV. There should be a description what this application does, which technologies it uses, and the most important, again, it should be available on some address. Because I will tell you that when I see some addresses of the applications, I will go there and I will check that they really work. I will also try to find some bugs there, and I will also look inside of them, meaning I look in the browser into the network tab to understand which API calls they make. I also check which libraries they use, and so on, because this all gives context which we can discuss during the interviews. For example, I can ask how you solve these technical problems, or why did you use this library instead of this one. It already gives some ground to take a conversation, because it happens very often when you see the CV. There are some projects described, but you don't see a single link there. So all those explanations is actually telling nothing. And what you should do next? Apply, apply, and apply. Because getting those invitations to interview, it's not a skill, it's a lottery. You should play it, but play it with better chances than others. I can say that if you will do like this, you will already stand out amongst other hundreds of CVs that we see every day. Thank you for watching to the end. If you want to know more insights about interviewing process, about how to land your first interview as junior software developer, stay on my channels, because here I'm sharing my personal experience.